Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Good, I hope. Anyway, I was just a little bit bored today, and I was on Facebook, and I keep seeing posts for there's a Lost Boys remake that's being proposed or put in the works. I'm not sure if it started. I don't think it has yet. And all I'm seeing is posts underneath. No, no, this is gonna suck. It's gonna be garbage. Why are you doing this? Why are you ruining our movies? First of all, I want to say they're not ruining Lost Boys like any other remake, which is what this video is going to be about. And not Lost Boys, but it's going to be about remakes, reboots, etc. But my opinion, if it sucks, just don't watch it. Okay, there's been a trend over the last 20 years of remaking horror movies from the 70s and 80s. Well, remakes been going on for a long time anyway, and some of them are good, some of them suck. And not just horror movies, obviously, you know, like Scarface, for example. A lot of people don't even know that's a remake, and it's a fantastic movie. It's iconic, and everybody loves it. Don't realize it was actually originally came out, I think, in 1932 with Paul Muni and Boris Karloff as the main leads. I don't remember the rest of the cast, but and it's an excellent film for its day. I love those 1930s gangster films that came out back then. Also, let's not forget The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing came out. It's a remake, and it's a masterpiece. It's probably one of the best practical effect horror films of all time. So, you know, so to say just something's a remake is going to be bad doesn't make any sense, and it's stupid. Like I said, if you don't like it, just don't watch it. And if you don't think you're going to like it, don't spend money on it and don't watch it. I mean, wait till it comes on Netflix or Prime or just download it for nothing. And then if you feel like watching it then. Or watch it then. But you never know, you might actually like it. But there has been a lot of garbage, and there has been a lot of good ones. And right now I got 2 stacks here of horror movies that the originals and the remakes. I'm going to fire through them quick. Just giving my opinions on what I think about them, if I like them, if I like them better, the original, or if I like the remake better, or if I like them both the same. It's I know there's a lot more than I have, and I'm just going by what I have on the shelf versus things I don't own. And I'm talking about the originals. The originals I have. A lot of them I have the remakes here too. For the most part, I got the remakes, but a lot of them I don't, because either I haven't seen them yet, or I just didn't like them enough to buy a copy. Anyway, so I just got my Lost Boys copy here. I just wanted to show it off that I have it, and I do really like this movie. And in my opinion, the remake, it's probably gonna suck. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise, but who knows? It might be amazing. It's a lot of younger cast that I'm not familiar with, so I can't really judge whether it's going to be casted right, because I don't know. Anyway, so let me just get into this stack I got going on here. It's in no particular order. I just kind of grabbed them off the shelf and just popped them here. And anyway, like I said, it's going to be whether I like it better or I like it less. I don't know. Anyway, so I got Cat People. This one here, I think it was, can't remember the year it came out, and I don't have my glasses on. I believe it was the late 40s. Loughton, however you say his name, made this film. It's a decent film for its day. I don't think it's a great film. It has a lot of things like the Loughton bus jump scare that came up in the as a term because of this film, and but it's creepy. It's okay. I prefer the sequel right here, Curse of the Cat People, but it's still good. I enjoy it. But then you got the remake, Cat People, which I think is I think this is an excellent film. I definitely think it's better than the original. It's not like a great film. I said excellent. I guess I was being a little generous, but it is a good movie. It's well done. It's creepy. It's a little messed up. There will be a few spoilers in here. Just a heads up. I just get that out of the way. But the incest themes in it are a little bit eerie, like a little bit, but it's entertaining, and I like it enough that I have a copy of it. So, and I've watched it a couple times. But yeah, I definitely prefer this to the original. Next, what do we got? The Amityville Horror versus the remake. Now, I'm going to start off by saying I like the original much better. I'm not one of the people that buy into the story and believe that it's true. I know that the faux murders were real, but in terms of the the family, can't remember their name, and again, I don't have my glasses on, I would just read off the back of the thing, but that moved in, all that stuff about the voices and the blood and all that nonsense. I don't believe that for a second, but the movie itself is good. It's creepy. It's for its day, it's a really good movie. James Brolin is amazing in it. Margot Kidder is really good in this movie, but I like Margot Kidder anyway, and then you got the remake, Ryan Reynolds, and I really like the remake. I don't like it as much as the original, but I wouldn't say it's a shit movie and it ruined this franchise or whatever, because there's so many Amityville horrors that are just rip-offs and imitations, and the sequels, and none of them are really great. I have the first three. Actually, I have the first four of the original series. The fourth one I just came across somewhere, and it's stupid. It's called The Evil Escapes, and it's about an evil lamp essentially, and it's dumb. But the first actual three aren't that bad. One's a prequel. Anyway, it's kind of getting off base here. But and the third one, the 3D one, it's campy and cheesy, but it's entertaining. It's actually better than the second one. But yeah, this is a good remake. I enjoy it a lot. Okay, up next, like I said, I'm going to try and motor through these even quicker. I'm losing the sun a little bit out there. But The Crazies. So I got to put this on an angle, otherwise we're looking at the glare. But yeah, The Crazies, the George Romero original from 1973. I was actually able to read that. I'm impressed with myself. And I like it. I think it's really well done, but I'm not gonna lie, I like the remake better. I think both are good. The remake does omit a lot of what George Romero always puts his political ideas and things in his movies, and which I like is one of the reasons why I'm a big fan. And Night of the Living Dead doesn't do that too much, but it's one of my top 2 favorite horror movies of all time. But The Crazies is good, but I definitely prefer the remake. They're both well casted, but I just think this is a better film. Okay, up next, I don't have the remake of Poltergeist, but I actually like it. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people, it's falling out anyway. A lot of people think it's a bad movie, or it's not good. It strays away from the original, and it does. Yeah, I will admit, but it's still a good movie. Like it's the remake. You got Sam Rockwell, who, even if it's a shit movie, if Sam Rockwell's in it, at least his character is going to be a good character. You're going to like it. But yeah, the original, much better film. Agreed, 100%. But the remake is good. I like it. I think it's a decent film. Okay, so coming up, we got Black Christmas. And again, another one with Margot Kidder. And I'm not going to lie, Margot Kidder in this movie, okay, her character, she's an alcoholic, and she's a little bit ditzy and off the wall, like probably not someone that's someone I would totally hang out with. But I don't know, something about her, she is smoking hot in this movie. I don't know why. She's not wearing sexy clothes. She just looks good. But and then you got the remake. Oops. Got the remake, and I like the remake. I don't like it as good as the original. I think the original, in terms of horror movies, it's what a horror movie should be. It's one of the films that opened up the door for the slasher genre. It influenced John Carpenter to do Halloween. It's not the first slasher film. I think that title would go to Peeping Tom, and then Psycho, which came out a couple months later. But this is still a really good movie. It's dark, it's creepy, it's kind of scary for the time. This one goes in a completely different direction. It has like a similar backstory, like background, I guess, but it's a completely different. Once the movie gets going, it goes in a completely different direction. But it's not bad. It's good. It does its own thing, and it does it well. It's not going to go into what it is. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend it 100%. Not as good as the original, but still holds up. It's not shit. Okay, up next, we got The Fly. And I like the original. It's your typical 50s kind of, sorry, I got an itchy nose. Kind of, your typical 50s sort of horror, sci-fi, thriller type film. It's entertaining. It's well done. A little creepy in a few parts for its day. You know, I do enjoy it, but again, it's one of these times where 100%, like what I was talking about before, the remake is a much better movie. I mean, the practical effects are just infamous and amazing. Jeff Goldblum is just perfect in this role, just this personality. And why am I forgetting her name? And she's very well known, and I can't read the thing because I don't have my glasses on. But you know the actress; she's been in a lot of things, Thelma and Louise, and you know. Anyway, again, remake is much better, and I think this is also a Generation X issue because it's all the Generation Xers that seem to be like myself, my era, seem to be whining that, oh, you're ruining our movies and this and that, but just again, don't watch them. But it's we're also got to think the new movies aren't our movies. They're for the current generation. So let them have their movies. We had our time. Let them have theirs, and let's just, if you want to watch them, and et cetera, et cetera. Now again, one I was talking about before, The Thing. Now the original one, again, it's 50s horror. It's based on the short story, which I've never read, and I like it. That's why I own a copy of it. It's good. It's kind of eerie and creepy and scary for its day, but again, the remake surpasses it 100 times, 100%. It is practical effects can't be beat. It's just such a really well done movie, and like Rob Bottin's effects, it's perfectly casted. It's just really an excellent movie. I'd like to think most people I know have seen this, but if you haven't, and you want to see a good 80s horror film with amazing special effects, this is the one to go to. This is your go-to. Okay, moving things along. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Halloween. Once again, John Carpenter. We all already know that this is a horror masterpiece for its day. In my opinion, to be honest, I've seen it so many times that I can't watch it alone because I kind of get bored because I already know what's going to happen. But if I'm watching with a group of people that are fans, then I can really get into it. I don't consider it a horror movie anymore just because it's really not that scary. It's more of a suspenseful thriller. But it's the soundtrack, the casting. You know, I know it was on a low budget, so special effects were what they were, but I still think it's well done and it got right to the point versus Rob Zombie's, which I do like the original better. This is definitely more frightening. It's a lot more graphic. It's certainly updated in that regard, but it strays away from like the suspenseful thriller to just straight up horror. I do like the theatrical version better than this unrated version, but it's still good. I'd rather have had a copy, but I've yet to be able to find one anywhere. I'm sure it exists, but I don't have it. Anyway, the backstory, it's a little bit stereotypical or generic, you know, like comes from a bad home, douchebag stepfather, abusive older sister, got the little kid the baby that he cares for, and the mother's, you know, she's a stripper, or she does, you know, it's just stereotypical killing small animals and then moving up from there. And then you got the whole hospital parts that I find a little bit boring because I want to get right into the Michael Myers, you know, slasher parts of the film. That why I'm watching a slasher film, not a documentary of Jeffrey Dahmer, a fictitious version of Jeffrey Dahmer. Anyway, still a good movie though. I like the original better, but it's still good. Again, I wouldn't have a copy of it if I didn't like it. Okay, moving on. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Now, I do like this movie. Everybody seems to overlook that there is a plot hole in this movie you can drive a fucking truck through, and that is before you had to fall asleep, the pod people would put a pod there or whatever, and then that would turn into you and you would die or whatever, whatever happened to the body. But suddenly at the end you just have to fall asleep and then you become one, and it's like that wasn't how the movie started. What is this shit? Like, you changed the whole element of the movie. Like I said, there's spoilers in this, and that's the only thing that drives me up the wall about this movie and why I can't watch it very often, because I know that's coming and it always drives me up the wall. And that no one ever points it out, oh, it's a masterpiece. It's an excellent movie, just has that massive plot hole in it, and it's just very distracting. And now we got the remake, and the remake is just hands down one of the best remakes of all time. It's a lot better than the original. It is still good. It's still, sorry, it's really good. It's well casted, and it's not boring, and it's creepy. And the end scene, and everybody's seen the meme with sorry, with Donald Sutherland, and what happens at the end of the movie, near the end of the movie, is just like, whoa, because you don't see it coming. And like I said, spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, you know something's coming. I'm not going to say what it is, but try and forget that I said that if you're going to watch this for the first time. And but again, better than the original. I've got Nightmare on Elm Street. The original is excellent. It is sort of an original idea. I can't think of too many other movies that sort of came before this that have like similar themes about the guy killing you in your sleep. And the sequels, the first two are good. After that, they turn into shit, and they're not even horror movies anymore. Just like every franchise that's ever made every horror franchise that ever made multiple sequels, they just turn stupid. But the first three are great. Now I'm going to go to the remake. Is it as good as the original? No. Is it a good movie? I think so. A lot of people pan it and say, no, this is a stupid movie. Don't waste your time. It's dumb. It's not as good as the original. Well, no, it's not as good as the original, but it's not a bad movie. And I will say that if the original the original series didn't exist, and this just came out as its own thing, you'd probably really like it. But you're comparing it to what you've already seen, and then you're trying to see what's better. It's like if they remade Star Wars. It might, like, I'm not talking about the new sequels that have come out. I mean, like, let's say they remade A New Hope. You're going to be comparing it to the original, and you're probably going to say it's garbage, and by comparison, it probably would be. But if you've never seen any of the Star Wars films, and a remake came out as its own original thing, you'd probably think it was an excellent film. And that's how I feel about this one. And I'm going to go through a couple more, and then I'm going to end this video and make this a two-parter. Otherwise, I'm going to be here for an hour. These ones I'm going to go through quick, but we got Last House on the Left. Now, this, for its time, is one of the hardest movies you'll ever watch in terms of horror. It's violent, but it's not so much the violence. It's just the themes and what you're watching. It's really, really hard to watch, and I'm going to leave it at that. Because there isn't really a whole lot more to say aside from that. But it is a really dark film, and it is a hard watch. I got the remake here, and the remake does stray away. It's not nearly as graphic in terms of the themes. Is it good? It's all right. I don't mind it. I think it's okay. I do like the original better, but it's not something I just want to throw on. I wouldn't sit in a room full of women and watch it. And if you see in the movie, you'll understand why, or you'll already know why. And if you haven't and you decide to watch it, you'll know exactly what I mean by that statement. Which brings me to the next movie, which is kind of similar. And that's I Spit on Your Grave. And I don't know which one's worse. Probably this one, but definitely this one is worse than the other one in terms of how graphic it is and hard to watch. And again, you don't want to sit and watch this as a first-time viewing with a woman who's never seen it, because it's not going to be a fun night. I think she'll probably leave the room or hate you forever, especially if let's say it's a first date and you guys have been out and, oh, let's go watch a movie, and you're expecting to Netflix and chill. This is not the one. She will not want to do anything after this movie. It is pretty gruesome. Now I got the remake. It's not nearly as graphic, or in the terms of the violence and everything. It's toned down. I think it's still rated R. I would like to think it is, but it's definitely not as bad as the other one. And in terms of which one is the better film, again, in spite of the graphicness of the original is still a better film. It's the better one to watch. Anyway, I'm going to cut this video short now, but I'm going to do a part 2 because I it's such a big stack, and we're already running 20 minutes, and I know my videos aren't that exciting that people want to sit and watch a 40-minute video of me talking. So anyway, I'm going to pause now and then get right to the next one, and I guess I'll see you then. Until the next one. Bye.